It's the Weather Xtreme video. This is the afternoon edition for Monday, the 2nd of January. I'm James Spann. Nasty thunderstorms today. Potential for severe weather continues through tonight. And maybe some winter mischief late this week. Many things to talk about. Here we go. Impressive shortwave trough approaching Alabama from the west, setting off the round of rain and storms today. And goodness, it is wet. Check the radar. That was at 1:47, just soaking rains falling from the northeastern part of the state around Anniston and Gadsden, down through Sylacauga, Clanton, Selma, Thomasville, Grove Hill, Jackson. We've got some flooding issues involved in here in some of the pockets. Some rain amounts now are in the 3 and 5 inch range since yesterday. Very beneficial for a state that's still in severe to exceptional drought conditions. There's a tornado watch for parts of south and southwest Alabama until 8 o'clock tonight. And we think that's where the highest tornado threat will be, the southern half of the state tonight. And we should also mention there's a flash flood watch for much of central and south Alabama through tonight. That includes counties as far north as Chambers and Lee, and basically other than that, counties along and south of US 80. But again, we've had some minor flooding issues north of that zone as well. This is the larger watch warning map around the nation. We should mention up north a lot of winter storm issues, winter storm warnings in effect for parts of the Dakotas and Minnesota where snow is falling today. That's the severe weather outlook for the rest of today and tonight. You can see a big mess here across the Gulf Coast states, and the enhanced risk includes parts of Louisiana, Mississippi, South Alabama, and that's where the higher tornado probabilities are located. Places like Baton Rouge, Hattiesburg, Laurel, Mobile, Evergreen, Atmore, that 10% circle, but there is a 5% chance of a tornado within 25 miles of a given point as far north as US 278. It all depends for North Alabama. Can the air recover from these soaking rains we had? Can the instability work its way northward? We'll take a look at that in just a second. Here's a closer look at Alabama's situation. You can see that marginal severe weather risk for the northeastern tip of the state. The standard risk, the area in yellow, that includes Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, Anniston, Gadsden. The enhanced risk is south of a line from near Demopolis to Montgomery and Eufaula. The area is in orange, and that's where the greatest chance of a tornado will be tonight. But again, understand we can't rule out the chance of an isolated tornado as far north as maybe Interstate 20. Then tomorrow, the risk is well to the east, a marginal risk for parts of the Carolinas up toward the Tidewater. And this is the rain for the next 5 days. And again, we've obviously had the big soaking today. The next question involves what happens at the end of the week and as the weekend begins. Could we see some more rain? Could it be snow? And that's what we'll talk about as we go. So here we go. This is the instability this afternoon. This was coming off the HER model at 12 noon. And you can clearly see at that point the better instability is located over the southern half of Alabama, Mississippi, and southeast Louisiana. Really big numbers west of Baton Rouge. Our friends at the Sugar Bowl, Auburn fans, Oklahoma fans, will have to watch the weather carefully this afternoon. And for the northern part of Alabama, there's not much instability because of the soaking rain mass we've had. And the question is, can that instability work its way northward tonight? Well, let's take a look. This is 10 o'clock tonight. And there's a sliver of instability up through Birmingham and the Shoals, but not much. Now, understand it doesn't take a lot in January for severe weather to happen. We'll have to watch things very carefully, but clearly the better environmental conditions for severe weather will be over the southern half of the state tonight. And this is the STP, the significant tornado parameter, 10 o'clock tonight. And you can see the numbers are really high over South Alabama and the Florida Panhandle. So in terms of the tornado threat, the bigger chance south of US 80. But again, we can't rule out the chance of an isolated tornado maybe as far north as Birmingham or Tuscaloosa, Anniston. Just something to watch tonight. And this thing will be winding down soon after midnight. Now, tomorrow, we'll take a look at the GFS, the 12Z run at noon. The flow is zonal, and we are in a situation where maybe some showers could linger in the morning. Otherwise, a mostly cloudy and very mild day with a high around 70 degrees. But Wednesday, the weather starts to turn colder. The high will be only around 50 with a strong north wind. And again, a lot of clouds around, probably not much sun. And Thursday, the weather looks cold and dry. The high only in the low 40s. with a partly sunny sky. This is Friday. We're cold and dry. We could stay in the 30s much of the day, especially if you're north of Birmingham. And we note that deep low developing to the west. And look what happens. Now, this is the GFS. This is Saturday at noon. The surface low is at Pensacola. And if this were to verify, and I don't think it will, I'll just tell you up front, I don't buy this. The pattern doesn't seem to favor this. But if by chance this is right, we would have big snow for North Mississippi and Tennessee, and then by 6 o'clock, everything changes to snow over North Alabama as the surface low moves on to the east. And if this is right, North Alabama would be buried. That's 17 inches at Fort Payne. But I think anybody in their right mind would not buy this. And the only place I'll show this map is here, because if you're watching these videos, you understand how to use these graphics. But let's look at the European, which seems to be more realistic. Still, there's potential for winter mischief. This is Friday at noon off the European. And it has light rain over South Alabama, light snow over North Alabama. And that could be enough maybe to cause a few issues with travel. And then Saturday, everything's out of here. Now, this is the same time the GFS was showing this raging snowstorm over North Alabama. The European has nothing. It's all to the east. And this is the snow total graphic coming from the European. You know, the GFS had 17 inches at Fort Payne. The European has 1. And that's why we think this is much more realistic. Maybe a strip of heavier snow if this verifies. Winston, Cullman, Marshall, DeKalb. And again, nobody knows now. We're not ready to throw out a specific forecast until tomorrow morning. We've got to get this stuff out of here tonight, and then let's see how the atmosphere looks, and we can focus on this thing tomorrow morning. But there is clearly potential for some winter weather issues, maybe involving snow for the northern third of the state, maybe the northern half of the state, Friday night, maybe into part of the day Saturday. And it could impact some travel, perhaps late Friday or Friday night or during the day Saturday. Just be aware of the possibility, and that's all it is now. And this is Sunday, back to the GFS. If this is right, we're cold and dry. Storm system lifting out. Monday, northwest flow aloft, a dry air mass, sunny and cool with a high back around 50. This is the end of the forecast period, Thursday of next week. Troughing digging down across the high plains. And again, for us, looks like some rain could break out with highs in the 50s, maybe touching 60 by then. In fact, here's our numbers. You can see the spike down Friday, Saturday, Sunday with highs only in the 30s. And then we go back in the 50s early next week. That's it for the Weather Xtreme video today. We'll have notes in the blog. The next video here by 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. If you can't catch us this evening on the live stream or the television side, ABC 3340 News at 4, 5, 6, and 10 o'clock. Thanks for watching. Have a great evening, and God bless.